Hey guys, and welcome back to Pro Speed Baseball. Today I'd like to share with you 3 key positions that you need as a pitcher to build maximum torque and velocity in your pitching mechanics and how you can start working on those today. Now here we have Adam Wainwright. Let me tell you what, guys, this guy develops a ton of torque in his pitching mechanics. I mean, he is almost effortless with this, and this is what we want to strive to look like when we're going. You can see Adam has a very smooth motion to the play. He has a very smooth delivery. We can tell he's throwing a nice sharp breaking ball here. If we look over to our right, we can see he threw that at 87 miles an hour, an 87 mile an hour breaking ball. And he can only do this, anybody can only do this if they're being very efficient with their body and the torque they're creating. And I'm going to show you how you can do this safely and efficiently. Now, the first key we're going to focus in on here is where our throwing elbow is when our stride foot lands. So let's take Adam to the end of his stride, and his foot gets down right here. It's firmly planted, and we want to look at where his right elbow is in conjunction with his throwing shoulder. So throwing elbow, throwing shoulder, and what we want to look at is this elbow is nice and above that shoulder. It's not way up here, but it is above, and what this is going to do, it's going to do 2 things for us. It's going to keep our arm in a very safe position to throw, and it's going to get us throwing more downhill, which is going to be key in providing maximum torque in our pitch. Now, the second key we're going to look at here is what we do with our actual stride foot during the pitch. So we're going to get Adam's foot moving in this direction. So now he's in his stride. His foot is moving in this direction. But what we're going to look at is where his foot is pointing. Right now it's pointing directly over at third base, and it's nice and closed towards the catcher. Okay, and now we take him a little bit further. We're going to see he's going to be gradually opening this up. Now this is going to happen real fast when we're doing this full speed, but he gradually opens this foot up to where it's now pointing down his target line. But the key here is going to be where our hips are when this foot lands. If we can see here, his hips are dead square to his target. He is dead square with his hips, and what this opening of the foot does is it gives our hips room to clear. So what he's done here is he's opened up that front side, but he's kept his hips nice and closed, and now he has all this stored power built up to where he can now let these hips rip open with a ton of power. And this is going to bring us into our third key. Okay, yeah, we want these hips to rip open. We want to have all this power, but what we have to do, what we have to be conscious of is our third key here is where our shoulders are. Now, the shoulders, simply put, are going to stay slightly closed to our target. If we draw a straight line down Adam's chest right here, we can see that his shoulders are slightly closed to his target over here. So, our hips are dead square, our shoulders are slightly closed. We've opened up this foot to create a lot of room for our hips. This is the move that's going to happen now. We are going to take our hips and we're going to fire them, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow these hips to pull the shoulders. We're not going to be actively spinning these shoulders around. Okay, we don't want to feel like we're spinning our shoulders. We're going to let the hips pull our shoulders. Now if we move forward a little bit here, we can see now that Adam has ripped his hips open. This is a beautiful position, by the way. His hips are now pointing right over here, and they have pulled his shoulders square. He didn't spin these shoulders around in this direction. They were pulled by his hips. Now if we take Adam forward, let's look at his hips now. His hips have now ripped wide open. They're pointing way over this direction, and they have now pulled his shoulders to a square position. Okay, this is the position we're striving to get into. This is the one that's going to create maximum torque. And now that he's created this crucial hips open, shoulders closed position, he has now created all this torque. He's stored all this energy inside, and what this does, he's stored it in his core, and he's taking the pressure off of his arm. And now that all this torque is stored up, he can now release it without having to use his arm. And what this does, it lets you throw more powerfully with more velocity for a longer period of time. Now, if you want to work on this stuff at home, what we're going to do is we're going to start out and we're going to draw a line down our right toe line. We're going to take a line right here, and we're going to draw a line down here so we can get into the right position. We're going to have a target. We're going to just try to throw fastballs right down the middle with this. Not the full distance. Cut the distance in half, maybe 45 feet if you're throwing from 60, or cut it down to about 30%. So you can get used to this position. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up our foot, and we're going to set it on this line just like Adam has it here. He has his foot open on this line, and what we're going to do is you're going to see when you first start doing this, when this foot starts opening up, you're going to want to let these hips go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in this position, and we're going to make sure that our hips are nice and square. We're going to make sure our shoulders are only slightly closed. Remember, we're stressing slightly closed, and we're going to make pitches from this position. The next progression in this drill is going to be the same thing. We're going to have the same line drawn down our right toe line, and we're just going to pitch from the stretch, and we're going to slowly get into this position, and we're going to pause and then throw, and then the next step after that is to get in this position and check yourself on camera. Now, if you like this video and you'd like to see some more instruction like this in the future, please click on this link that's popping up in your screen right now and subscribe, or in the link in the description below. Like this video, plus one us on Google, and leave your comments and questions below. Guys, this stuff helps us out a ton. It's going to let us get these videos out to you as quick as possible. You'll be the first to be notified when new instruction comes out. And we have a lot of great information coming for you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you much more in the future.